Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about GitHub Copilot for SAP ABAP just like we did last time. However, from Eclipse a standpoint. If you remember in the past we spoke about how a GitHub Copilot plugin for SAP ABAP from Visual Studio can help us to write our codes faster or it allows to chat with ChatGPT and improve our coding quickly. Today we're going to see how it works out from a perspective of Eclipse. For most of the SAP team members or the developers, Eclipse is a known figure. They have been using Eclipse for very long to design their ABAP programs, and there always has been a question, can we use the same Eclipse as it is and use the functionalities of GitHub Copilot along with it? So let's talk about it. So in the last session, what we spoke about quickly is what is the LLM, what are the fundamentals of LLM, how LLM works as. We also saw what was GitHub Copilot all in all. If you have not visited my previous session, please have a look at it. We also saw how to install the Visual Studio plugins and use it for using GitHub Copilot for SAP ABAP. We also saw the architecture behind the GitHub Copilot, which is a codex architecture, just to understand, how the technology works behind the scene. And most important thing, the limitations of the Visual Studio plugin and GitHub Copilot for SAP ABAP itself. So if you remember, in before we were working on Visual Studio plugin, as I mentioned, today we're going to see how it's going to work out with respect to Eclipse. So there is a new plugin introduced by a company called Genutech. They also release some other plugins for Eclipse, and this plugin is a free license, which is wonderful that anyone can just download and use it. The most important thing which we were missing in Visual Studio plugin was single sign-on. So there was no SSO feature available, and you used to probably write user ID passwords, server credentials behind the scene to connect to individual system, which is basically not an advised well method from security standpoint. Many companies do not allow you to log in using user ID password. They just pretty much have a single sign on using your user ID. But when you're using Eclipse, this SS functionality works behind the scene and is supported by Eclipse. And when you have a plugin which supports that, it's just basically serving all your purposes. Right now, what I saw that only auto completion feature is available from this plugin. Whereas I was chatting on the group with the Genutech consultants and asking when rest of the features such as chat feature or explain this feature or a test case generator feature will be launched, and they mentioned they are working on it, but however I do not have a delivery date for the same. So moving on, uh, again in the Visual Studio world, we never could write a ABAP coding or AMDP coding for a BW systems, because in BW systems you have transformations which make use of ABAP methods or classes behind the scene, and there to write a code you need a user interface that supports it. So Eclipse interface supports you to directly write your ABAP coding like start routines, end routines, or expert routines in Eclipse for SAP BW transformations. They also allow you to write AMDP HANA supported SQL coding in through Eclipse. However, that was not possible through Visual Studio, because in Visual Studio the only UI you get is basically ABAP AC80 screen, under which the standard global classes methods are available for your coding. whereas the ones that are used behind the scene in ABAP transformations are not available directly in SEAT for writing the code. Hence, this feature is basically a wonderful support for the developers, especially from BW standpoint, who would like to write ABAP or a HANA SQL code. Of course, HANA table functions, which are already supported in Eclipse, may as well be used um, and be supported by this plugin behind the scene. When I was testing it myself, what I found was that SAP BW ABAP transformations and AMDP BW transformations, the feature was quite useful because just like I mentioned in last time, if you have a structure of your internal table or the objects that you're going to use is available in your coding, then ChatGPT can work efficiently. ChatGPT cannot go inside your system, say C11 or C16, to find out what was the structure of your table. It needs to be defined in the code. Hence, ABAP and AMDP driven transformations, which have the source structure and the target structure available in it, can automatically support ChatGPT to write the efficient and quick code. Whereas in HANA table functions, it's always not necessary that all the structures are available in the code. So many a times, if the structure is declared, the GPT will work fine from HANA table function standpoint. So let's dive into quickly system and see how this feature supports you to do quick coding as a developer. So I'm jumping into my Eclipse here. So now what I've done is I have created a very simple a transformation already here, as you can see on the left hand side. And as a part of this transformation, this is an AMDP based transformation. Uh, what I would like to do is that basically write a very simple code to show you basically the strength of auto completion, or especially the Copilot UI, sorry, the plugin efficiency. Here on top, there is a Copilot for Eclipse installed from Genutech. What you can do is that you can, I'll put a link of Genutech UI into the chat commentary. There you will also see a very easy way to install Copilot for Eclipse. And once you install and log in, just like how we used to do it in Visual Studio, all your features are available for use. Here also, when you go to the preferences, there are various supported languages that are available for you. In my case, I just selected all so that ChatGPT can work on that, or Copilot can work on that and support you for active coding. So apply and close. So I don't need it there because I've already done that. And this is a AMDP code with basically for any ACP BW developer, you can see you would know that these structures are coming in the end routine. Sorry, I failed to mention that this is the end routine of a transformation. And what I would like to basically do is that write a simple code in AMDP using ChatGPT functions. Now let's put some instructions for it to move ahead. Now what I would like to do is, before even starting the coding, I can just put some out tab uh, one, because before I give instructions, I would like to just let GPT do some own work. Okay, so it pulled up automatically the fields that are available in the structure. I just did tab key, which allowed me to select all the fields automatically. However, I do not want to use all the fields as it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically work on some of these logics. So as an example, I do not want to populate amount just as it is, because amount in the source is just blank, and I would like to basically count that amount field here. So let me just copy a comment because you don't want to see me writing all the time. So what I did is calculate the amount from quantity and price, and I asked, okay, can you country? Okay, and there you go. It automatically populated the code for me. Now I would like to also write one more code, especially for the remark field. Remark is basically a description field, and it is highly likely that there could be an invalid character in remark. So I would like to just remove that and write a commentary saying that, remove invalid characters from remark field using replace regex function. If you have seen my previous video, we had used similar function there as well. Oh, let me just, okay, let's see what it brings in. Okay, so it brought in these functions. So replace regex function is fine. However, I do not see all the invalid characters covered here. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna copy that from my notes, because like I mentioned in the past, not always you get exactly what you need. So you need to have some cases you need to support the robot basically to do the work, and that's why the developers are needed. Now this one is done. I just replaced with all the invalid characters I want system to replace the information with. And let me see one few more things. What else is there? Currency, unit, batch, material. And if you see, this is a FM price. It populated as without a forward slash. This is not a zero FM price column, just like material and unit, because if it is zero, it doesn't need any prefix. And here the GPT did not quite understand that it needs to use the custom field. That means I have to do that once. So it's supposed to be BIC forward slash FM price. Yeah, just like how we do it in an HANA coding. And this can be changed as FM price, yeah, or not as well. I don't want to change it, and I just want to keep it as it is. But I think generally once you do this one time, GPT or Copilot understands the behavior that you're expecting from it, and the next time it will probably most likely populate the correct prefix and syntax. Now this my work is done. I'm just gonna basically put a record, and what it did not do is from, yeah, exactly, from in tab. So it automatically brought me in tab. Now I would like to do the next thing is basically it's very simple. I would like to perform a left outer join. So what's happening here is that I do not have a color and flavor of a material available in the source. So I would like to populate that from basically another table that I've created that holds color and flavor information against a respective material. So what I want is just system to do that left outer join and populate that information for me. So I'm gonna do just out tab. I'm gonna put out tab 2 because it's another local table that is. So from A is basically my out tab from above, and B is my zmat char 1. And if you see, the color and flavor is populated from B. Everything else is coming from A. So more or less it did understand few things little bit. Again, as you see, HANA needs double quotes for the DB objects, which it did not do itself. Apart from that, it did understand some joins, what to do, what not to do. So this is basically the left outer join that I wanted to do. Now I would like to drive another simple topic is just remove the plants from the table with which are starting with J, because they are just not relevant for my business logic. And with the comment, I see this is how it looks like, which is from my perspective absolutely right. I'm changing out tab to 3, And I would like to do one more last function is remove the adjacent duplicates. So from whoever is from SAP background, SAP ABAP, it's very easy to remove adjacent duplicates. You just write remove adjacent duplicates basically. But when you are going in SQL, it is not that easy. Basically, you need to partition the data first by the keys. You need to populate a row number and you need to remove the records of row number that are more than 1. So it's an indirect way to remove the adjacent duplicates. So now let's see, I have wrote this comment that out tab partitioning by doc item and item numbers and remove the records with greater than 1. So I'm kind of giving very elaborate comment to GPT or Copilot to do the operation that I want it to do. So let's see how it does it. I So this is one thing that I observed. I need to start writing little bit, not like ABAP. In ABAP, it is bit easier. It starts some coding itself, but in AMDP or HANA SQL, I have to start writing something to make it work. So this one, yep. Yeah. So the next try brought the correct information. Sometimes yeah, it is not exactly reliable, yeah, the information that comes out of it. So what I did in this case is I write another comment saying calculating a row number, and that did the trick. But when I was doing practicing offline, it worked without that as well. So I think sometimes it needs more instructions to do the job. So as you see here, select star. So you see select star from row number over partition by and order by as Rn, and then it Rn is equal to 1. So basically it calculates a row number and it only takes the first row of the information. And here I do not want star, I want a structure because I want to make sure the structure is exactly same as the target end routine target table, that we need. Like we call it end package, the result package. Yeah, the result package structure needs to be exactly same. So I'm just gonna not put star. Maybe start putting something. It will pull all information automatically. So I start putting one, it starts populating another one. I'm just coming and doing tab as soon as the information is popping up. There go material, FM price, plant. Again, FM price needs a double quote. It did not understand that. There is a record mode or record number, I beg your pardon, and then there is a source record. And then it basically does a select in a select like a subquery and populates the information in out tab here, which is our basically the result package table. As soon as your data goes there, your transformation is loading the data into the target. So this is how it looks from an AMDP standpoint. Now if we want to do something similar in a ABAP routine, I've again created one simple transformation, almost of the same structure as that AMDP flow. And here I just want to do something similar, but maybe a little bit easier transformations. So let's put some comment here. So firstly, I would like to do the similar way the calculation of amount that we did last time. The good thing is that now it understood that it needs to write the loop statement. I already see this is a bit better for ABAP. So it already populated the loop statement and calculated some um, amount for me. I just don't want to stop here. I want to create a little bit more, just like we did in AMDP. So I would like to remove the invalid characters, just like we did there. Let's see what system brings up. You know what? Again, this is just useless. Yeah. Sometimes I feel this information could be different or better. Um, let's see if I can bring more information into it. Maybe there are some more possibilities. Before I take it, let's see if there is a next completion available. See, there is a next completion option. Uh, it, it's not that it's going any better, but as you see, there are multiple options that are available for usage, just like the Visual Studio we had. And none of the option basically brought me the correct invalid character set that I wanted. So again, I'm gonna copy from my offline files here, just like we need. Yeah, and you can replace basically with blank as you need. Just like we did it in AMDP, I would like to also remove the plants that are starting with J. Again, that was easy peasy for the system to do it. As you can see here, the delete result package, it populated. I think this should be from. So delete result package from result fields. That makes more sense. So again, something that a developer still has to do manually. I would like to drive the currency translation here in the ABAP, something different. Yeah? So I'm just telling, you know what, currency conversion from some local currency, USD. Uh, sorry. So I would like to do the currency translation to local currency USD using function module with a date or as of today. It automatically brought me something, but I know from experience that while these headers are not right, I don't know the how Copilot was trained on, but these are not right. So if you go in the system, this is my convert local currency module. You see there is a foreign amount, foreign currency, local currency. These are the parameter names, which here doesn't look quite correct. So I found another way to tackle such problems is just remove them and start doing one by one. Sometimes that also helps. Let's see, foreign. Yeah, wrote foreign currency. Then it started basically pulling the information correctly. So these are the correct parameter names: local amount, exceptions, no rate found, others. So sometimes it also needs little bit of a training. Again, it didn't give me everything that I needed. So I need a foreign amount. I want to be amount, which is correct. But however, the foreign currency, I want to be USD. So that's something I'm gonna do. I'm sorry, I will put GBP as a foreign currency, which is from the source, and there is no mention also of local currency, which is USD, because I would like to convert to local currency USD. So from GBP, I would like to convert to the USD using the side item, which is today's date. The local amount is gonna go in the amount field, which is correct. I know correction is required. What I would like to on the top do is that, because there is no currency uh, field populated from the source, the local currency, I would like to populate that field. So you probably may need to give some instruction. Oh no, it automatically populated because it saw that I am converting to USD. So it just brought me that field, and that sometimes really helps. You don't have to search and keep writing the long codes. It basically brings that out of the box. And here USD is hard coded. So, so more or less, I wanted to give idea how this ABAP and AMDP functionality works. It's nothing different. More or less, the auto completion features are as advanced or as novice as you saw in Visual Studio, because at the end it's the same model behind the scene. But what I loved is basically it's just in the system. Yeah, you don't have to um, uh, worry about SSO or anything. You have everything available out of the system here. Um, and I'm not going anywhere to write, say, a code saying, this is my user ID, this is my password, and that's a security violation. So this perfectly makes sense to my requirement, or probably in any enterprise customer's requirement. Now, coming back to the presentation, Uh, of course, you can. I missed to mention that HANA table functions, you can do it yourself using the similar functions. However, as I mentioned, I found it more useful in ABAP BW transformation, the AMDP BW transformation. And of course, whichever Visual Studio functions we used for ABAP SEAT object like ABAP programs, function modules, you can do similar, exactly similar in Eclipse as well. Now, so what I saw so far and what I observed is the upsides of this Eclipse over Visual Studio is it supports SSO, which was not possible in VSC extension. It also supported lot of other aspects such as BW transformations, AMDPs, which was not possible in Visual Studio. And Eclipse, of course, supports many other languages. So if you also would like to code in other languages using same plugin, it works. It's just not about SAP. And this is provided by a company, this plugin, which supplies also enterprise Eclipse tools, which makes me believe and rely on the technology a bit more. Because in VSC it was basically a freeware released by individual person, and individual person can always not uh, maintain a plugin for enterprise customers or enterprise usage, and generally a company can do that better. It's a free license, which is a thumbs up as always. And on the downside, not all Copilot features are available. We saw that, yeah. Only autocomplete is feature available, and they are working on many other features. So I'm crossing my fingers for those new features as well. And as always, I strongly recommend these tools or any new plugin that you introduce. It needs to be verified by your security team to make sure there is no security violation from your client perspective or from your company perspective, which is very, very important. This is what I had to share today. I was really excited to see this Eclipse plugin, and I thought let's just, even though it is repetitive subject, let's just share with the audience how using Eclipse you can improve your coding efficiency. Hope it helped you to learn more and it was not a waste of time for you. And we'll meet again with something more interesting next time. So, until next time, bye bye.